when you're racing on the Mario Brothers circuit, blazing through the chaos of Bowser's castle. Or perhaps you're taking a trip to Koopa Troopa Beach to catch some chicks. Whatever your vibe is, there's a track for everyone in Mario Kart World. In today's Mario Kart World video, I am going to be going through 5 of my favorite Mario Kart World tracks. I did this sort of video last summer, and honestly, with the amount of editing skills I developed over the years, as well as my updated thumbnails, I honestly need to update that particular video with a new one. So with a new game capture card comes with a newly updated version of that video that I am recording completely from scratch. If you guys like this video, spread out your dragon wings and slap that like button. Also, if you're at all new to my channel, click the subscribe button to join the Dragon Gang today, and click the notification bell to never miss a video. And with that being said, let's get started. So number 5 of my top 5 favorite Mario Kart World tracks was actually also number 5 of my 5 worst Mario Kart World tracks last year. So number 5 has turned into one of my favorites, and it is Boo Cinema. So obviously Boo Cinema, as you might be able to tell, it's loosely based on Luigi's Mansion. You jump through here, and as I said, this is loosely based on Luigi's Mansion a little bit. So, right there's one jump scare in Big Boo over there. And then there's another one close to the end of this old film tape thing, and there's a bunch of smaller Boos roaming around. There's the other one right there. It is pretty neat, actually, and you can see some black bats flying around as you exit out of there. So, yeah. This honestly is a pretty cool track, I will admit. I treated it way too harshly last summer, but now it's actually one of my favorite tracks. Now let's go to number 4. Number 4 on the list was actually number 2 of my best Mario Kart World tracks last summer. Number 4 is Koopa Troopa Beach. I used to really like Koopa Troopa Beach, mainly because it is where I met Swimwear Daisy. Koopa Troopa Beach is quite the course. It's basically a short track, and when you're doing a race around only Koopa Troopa Beach, Nintendo bumped it from 3 laps to 5 laps, which was pretty nice. And then when racing to Koopa Troopa Beach in a point-to-point race from somewhere, they upped it to 2 laps at Koopa Troopa Beach instead of 1 because of how short it is. And honestly, either way, it can get really chaotic fast, and it can get to the point where you can actually end up catching the last place racer and end up lapping them on Koopa Troopa Beach. So, yeah. Honestly, I'm not the biggest fan of Koopa Troopa Beach, what I used to be when Mario Kart World first came out, and of course when I met Daisy's swimwear outfit, and yeah. And honestly, I'm not the biggest fan of Swimwear Daisy at all anymore either. I mean, I still like her swimwear outfit, don't get me wrong, but yeah, with all the people doing bad stuff to her, I just usually stick to her touring outfit nowadays to kind of get away from all that jazz. But for the purpose of this track, I decided to just, whatever, I'll put it on. But now I'm going to go back to my Jay-Z's touring outfit because it's time to go to number 3. Last year, my number 3 was DK Spaceport. This year, it's Desert Hills. And I like Desert Hills because it's right next to Princess Daisy's home, right near her castle where the Shy Guy Bazaar track is. And honestly, it's just such a beautiful desert oasis. I love racing all the way over here from Peach Beach in the Cherry Valley, which is essentially the cross-country knockout tour of Mario Kart World. because you go from the east side of the map all the way to the west. So, yeah, this is just a really beautiful track, and honestly, it looks great at sundown. Like, it's sunset right now. You can kind of see how pretty it looks. So, and it makes great photography as well, which is actually how I took some of my screenshots with Daisy in some places, and it's how I took some great thumbnails and everything. And honestly, Daisy just looks great out here, completely irrelevant in the desert. Even if the Roadster Royale is more of a street racing vehicle or speedway vehicle than a desert racing vehicle, but Daisy likes her fast cars all the same, even if it is an all-rounder. Oh boy, I'm rambling way too much, I know. Coming in at number 2 is Royal Butters Circuit. Also looks good in the evening and at night in Royal Kart World. I especially love this thing right here. See that core up there atop the Fireflower gas station? That is an obvious reference to the Disney and Pixar Horrors movies, a reference to Doc Hudson, which I really like the little nod to that classic movie from 20 years ago that I watched as a kid. And also, Mario Brothers Circuit, it's a nice speedway type of track, if that makes sense. Not really a speedway, I think that's more Mario Circuit. But Mario Brothers Circuit is still a pretty cool track. Mario Brothers Circuit is really just one of my favorite tracks to race at in general. I love just stealing the top 10, top 5, top 3, and first place positions from other players at this track, because it is just so exciting to just absolutely beat the competition at this track. It's really great track is what it is what I'm trying to say. Anyways, let's move on to number 1. Did you actually think Bowser's Castle was my number 1 favorite? Just kidding. That was last year when it was my number 1 favorite. That video was actually made before Rainbow Road actually became my number 1 favorite track in Mario Kart World. It is just such a beautiful track. I love the music. It's just one of the most beautiful tracks in all of Mario Kart. The entire series. Everywhere we road is just another wonderful track in its own right. With the Mario Kart World Rainbow Road being the longest. The race can take around 4 minutes if you're at the start of Rainbow Road, or if you're going from Peach Stadium to Rainbow Road, it can take around 5 minutes or so. And honestly, you just can't go wrong with Rainbow Road. You just can't. In fact, whenever I'm doing a 5-race tourney with one of my friends, I actually have a special rule with Mario Kart World, or any Mario Kart race in general. And that rule is the last race in a 3-race, 5-race tourney, whatever the case may be, how many races you're doing, every race tourney must end with Rainbow Road. It has to always end with Rainbow Road. That is the number 1 rule with tourneys in Mario Kart, if that makes sense. So I turned the CPUs off to really just show you guys this track and really just kind of enjoy the scenery a little bit, because it's kind of nice to just take things slow for a little while and enjoy the game music. In fact, this is my favorite bit in Mario Kart World Rainbow Road. Take a listen. You just cannot go wrong with that one. You just can't go wrong with the space station stage in the Mario Kart world, which actually resembles the Comet Observatory a little bit from Super Mario Galaxy. So, if you thought the final stage music Rainbow Road and Mario Kart World was my favorite, it's not. It's actually my second favorite part of Rainbow Road. The space station music is my favorite part of Rainbow Road. And of course, it's usually if you watched any of my videos or streams, you know that this part and the space station is right around the space station. That by that point, if you have not caught me, I am going to get away. I am most likely going to get away from you and probably win the race if you can't do something about it soon. So, yeah. As we wrap up Rainbow Road here, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, spread out your dragon wings and slap that like button. Also, if you're not new to my channel, click the subscribe button to join the Dragon Gang today, and click the notification bell to never miss a video. And yeah, as we ride off into the sunset, or rainbow, I guess, I will see you next time, Dragon Gang. Peace out.